All right, so I'm just outside of Durham, North Carolina. It is a hot, muggy day here in late June in the Carolinas. And I'm gonna be checking out a few sites here in and around Durham, a few of which not only have connections to the Civil War, but connections to each other. The first place I'm checking out is Bennett Place. Bennett Place is kind of underrated in terms of like historical significance, because it is the site of the largest surrender of the Civil War. And I know you're thinking, well, what about Appomattox? Appomattox is a huge deal, and it was the nail in the coffin for a lot of things in the Civil War, but it wasn't the final surrender. In fact, there was a few more even after Bennett Place, but this was the largest surrender, effectively ending the war for the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. So let's go check out Bennett Place. Okay, so this is the home of James Bennett. And to kind of understand the significance of what happened here you had to kind of set the stage a little bit, because it all takes place in April 1865. And if you know your American history, that is an insane month. So many things happen in that last few weeks of April that kind of changed the trajectory of American history forever. So first you have Appomattox, April 9th. Robert E. Lee is trying to get his troops down to Greensboro, North Carolina to meet up with General Johnston and his larger army. He's cut off by Union troops. He doesn't make it, and essentially surrenders to Robert E. Lee at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. And that is the most famous surrender of the Civil War. It's the nail in the coffin for many aspects of the Civil War, including slavery. I think 10 days later, they started actually releasing slaves. So that's a big deal. And then, but that doesn't end the actual war. I mean, there's still armies that are fighting independently of Robert E. Lee, including General Johnston's army. And it became quite apparent once Lee surrendered that the war was coming to an end. And General Johnston wanted to start negotiations of surrender to General Sherman. But in between Appomattox and the surrender here at Bennett Place, another really important event takes place that adds tension to the whole thing. And that's the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. That happens on the 14th. So on April 9th, you have Appomattox. April 14th, you have John Wilkes Booth shooting Abraham Lincoln at Ford Theater. And then right here at Bennett Place, General Sherman and General Johnston decide to meet up right here on Bennett Farm. And this is the road, the remnants of the road that they met on, where these two, wooden fences here, that's Hillsborough Road. They decided to meet here and start negotiations of surrender for the Civil War. And when they got here is when General Sherman found out about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. So the grounds here are absolutely beautiful. They've kept it up well. This is the original farmland of James Bennett right here. And this is the home of James Bennett. And right there in that building straight ahead is where General Johnston and General Sherman held their conferences to negotiate the largest surrender of the Civil War. This ended the war for the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, like I said. I believe it was like something like 98,000 troops. I may be wrong there, so somebody can Google that and see how incorrect I was. But this isn't the original home. It burnt down in I think the 1920s actually. But this is the original chimney, as you can see here, kind of corroborating what I said. You can pause the video and read the whole thing if you like, because I want to keep moving. But I don't think that's time period accurate right there. Let's peek inside and see if we can kind of see what's going on. No, I don't think you can see very well. You can just see me. This is the Unity Monument right here, signifying the end of the war, we're going to get around front of this thing so you can kind of see the inscription on the front. Sorry for the cars going by. This is kind of a busy road still. Again, if you want to read what this says, you could probably pause the video, try to get the whole thing in there. But really, honestly, this place is a little underrated. I mean, I know Appomattox gets all the attention because it's Grant and Lee, and it's such a big deal. It was kind of a symbolic end of the war, but this is actually the site of a bigger surrender altogether. So really probably not given as much of attention as it should be in terms of the historical significance, but that's just my opinion. Maybe it's just because I'm a little biased because it took place here in North Carolina, which is my home state that I love so much. Let's go check out the little garden over here. All right, well, that's it for Bennett Place. Hope you learned something. Hope you like these historic videos. If not, let me know. I'll find something else to do. But if I messed anything up or got anything wrong, or if I was historically inaccurate on anything, let me know in the comments. But you don't have to be mean about it. You can just be like, hey, you screwed up and you were wrong. But I think I had most of my facts straight, I hope. But anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I've got some more videos on the way. We're going to another place today that is kind of has some connections to Bennett Place, not just in proximity, but some of the events that happened here precipitated some of the events that happened there. So stay tuned. See you soon.